I never thought the most devastating discovery of my life would be found inside my daughter's bright pink toy box, nestled between a teddy bear and a plastic unicorn. It was a second phone, a burner phone, its screen dark and silent. I knew, with a gut-wrenching certainty that stole the air from my lungs, that this small black rectangle held the secrets that had been poisoning my marriage for months. My wife, Sarah, the woman I had loved since college, the mother of my child, was living a double life, and the proof was right here, hidden amongst the innocence of our daughter's world. I picked it up, my hand trembling, knowing that once I turned it on, nothing would ever be the same again. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. It started subtly, as these things often do. A new password on her laptop. Late-night work emergencies that never seemed to happen before. A sudden obsession with a new spin class across town in a part of Chicago she never went to. When I'd ask, she'd just laugh, a brittle sound, and call me paranoid. "Relax, Mark," she'd say, touching my cheek with cold fingers. "You worry too much." But the distance between us grew into a chasm. The warmth we once shared in our Lincoln Park brownstone had turned icy. She'd look at me, but her eyes would be a million miles away. It was a stranger sleeping in my bed. The day it all clicked into place was a Tuesday. I'd taken our daughter Lily to the Lincoln Park Zoo. Sarah was supposed to join us, but another last-minute client dinner came up. While Lily was mesmerized by the sea lions, my phone buzzed. It was a fraud alert from our joint credit card, a charge for $200 at a place called the Aviary on Fulton Market. I knew that place an upscale cocktail lounge. It's not exactly a client dinner spot. My heart started pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I called her, no answer, straight to voicemail. On a gut feeling, I left Lily with my sister, who lived nearby, and drove to Fulton Market. Her silver Lexus was parked in a garage just off Randolph Street. I sat in my car across the street, the Chicago night air thick and humid, and I waited. An hour later, I saw them. Sarah, looking more vibrant than I'd seen her in years, was laughing, leaning against a tall, smug-looking guy in an expensive suit. He put his arm around her waist, pulling her in, and she let him. They kissed, a long, lingering kiss under the yellow glow of a street lamp. It wasn't a friendly peck. It was the kiss of lovers. The world tilted on its axis. I felt a wave of nausea so intense, I had to grip the steering wheel to keep from being sick. That was the first time I saw him. His name, I would later learn, was Julian Croft, a partner at her firm. I drove home in a daze, the city lights blurring through my tears. The next few weeks were a special kind of hell. I was a ghost in my own home, watching her move through our life with a chilling nonchalance. She'd lie to my face, her expression perfectly composed, while I knew she was texting him, planning their next meeting. The manipulation was masterful. She'd accuse me of being distant, of not trying, turning my own pain into a weapon against me. I felt myself breaking, collapsing from the inside out. One night I found myself sitting on the floor of our closet, just trying to breathe, the weight of her betrayal crushing me. That was the night something inside me shifted. The grief didn't disappear, but it hardened into something else, something cold and sharp, rage, and with it came a strange, terrifying clarity. I wasn't going to break. I was going to fight back. I was going to burn their world to the ground. That's when I started looking, really looking. Her strange trips to the dry cleaner for a single blouse, her sudden interest in privacy settings. It all led me, one quiet afternoon while she was at yoga, to Lily's room. I don't know why I looked in the toy box. Our father's instinct, maybe. And there it was, the burner phone. Turning it on was like opening Pandora's box. Hundreds of messages, photos, vile descriptive texts that made my stomach churn. They talked about me. They laughed at me. Julian called me the pathetic husband, Sarah agreed. They detailed their trysts at the Thompson Hotel, their lunches at Gibson's, all their plans for a future together once she had secured a favorable divorce settlement. They were planning to take everything. My daughter, my home, my money. The arrogance was staggering. They thought they were untouchable. I didn't confront her. Not yet. The broken man was gone, replaced by a strategist. I screenshotted everything. Your every text, every photo, every call log. I backed it all up to 3 separate hard drives. I hired the best, most ruthless divorce attorney in Chicago, a shark named Mr. Harrison. We met in a sterile office overlooking the Chicago River. I laid out the evidence. He looked at me over his glasses, a slow smile spreading across his face. "Mr. Hayes," he said, "we are going to decimate them." The plan was simple, and its execution was brutal. We filed for divorce, citing infidelity, and submitted the entire contents of the burner phone as evidence. Simultaneously, I compiled a neat little package. It contained printouts of the most damning texts, photos of Sarah and Julian together, and an anonymous letter detailing how a senior partner was having an affair with a subordinate and using company resources to facilitate it. I sent one package to the managing partner of Sarah's law firm. I sent another to Julian's wife in Barrington. The explosion was immediate and spectacular. Julian was suspended pending an internal investigation, his career in tatters. His wife filed for divorce the next day using my evidence. Sarah was called into a meeting with HR and the firm's partners. She walked in confident and walked out 2 hours later, her face ashen. She'd been fired. She came home that evening, finally broken. The arrogance was gone, replaced by a desperate panic. "Mark, we can talk about this," she pleaded, tears streaming down her face. But her tears meant nothing to me anymore. I just looked at her, my expression a cold, blank wall. "There's nothing to talk about, Sarah," I said. "Talk to my lawyer." In court, she was a ghost of the woman she'd been. The judge, a stern woman who clearly had no patience for deceit, awarded me full custody of Lily. I got the house. Got to keep my assets. Sarah was left with nothing but her lies and the social ruin she had brought upon herself. The last I heard, she was living in a small apartment in a less desirable suburb, struggling to find work. Julian moved out of state, a pariah in the Chicago legal community. Sometimes late at night, when the house is quiet and Lily is asleep, I stand by the window and look out at the city lights. I don't feel triumph. I don't feel joy. The revenge was necessary, a surgical strike to protect myself and my daughter. But the victory is hollow. The love I once had was real, and its death has left a permanent scar. All that remains is the silence where a family used to be. The end.